There's a scary reason why they call it the internet and the World Wide Web, because they're trying to become God through this technology. It's very scary. Let me prove this to you. We are all one consciousness, observing itself in a different mind and body. We are one observer, observing life through different angles. So we're one consciousness, right? So God is the observer, observing everything. He observes your life, he observes every life form. He is omnipresent. God is everything in everyone, because we are God experiencing himself. So that's why the internet is the exact same thing. Your phone is a digital copy of your mind. Every action, everything you've ever done on your phone has been recorded. It's basically your mind, but digitally. But it's all connected to one source. They are trying to become omnipresent by getting everyone onto technology, uploading their minds into these devices so they can become the all-seeing eye. They want to become omnipresent, just like how God sees everything, because you are God. They are trying to become God by observing everything and surveilling everything. That's why the one-eye symbolism can be evil, because it represents, on an evil level, surveillance and control. And that's why they call it AI, a single eye, AI. It's all imitating God's creation. So why does Drake call himself the sixth God? And what's the symbolism behind it? Well, I think I know what it is. The physical reality is six-sided. You can move forwards, backwards, left, right, upwards and down. We live inside a cube. You are the cube, right? But what does Drake talk about in his music? Well, he talks about sex, lust, money, materialism, promotes that ideology of materialism, right? So he's the sixth God. That's what he promotes. He promotes materialism, which is the number 6. That's why 666 is the mark of the beast. It's when your soul is so attached to materialism, all you think, feel, and act towards is all the cube, the false reality outside of you, and giving no room and no attention to your true inside reality, to your soul, your root, where you came from, the awareness of the mind. So it's just all materialism.
You are very intelligent if you understand that this is not just a random door. This is a Freemasonic symbol. The 2 pillars are there not just for design, they're symbolic of Jachin and Boaz. The lion in the middle is not just a random symbol, it's symbolic of Leo, the sign where the sun is the most powerful, symbolizing enlightenment and more light and energy. Therefore, when you walk between these 2 pillars and enter the door, it's symbolic to the path to enlightenment, the path to unity consciousness. In between, the left and the right, the masculine and the feminine forces of consciousness. That's why the sun is above the lion, symbolizing light. Light symbolizes information and clarity, because when you shine light on something, it reveals its truth. It's symbolic to the path to enlightenment, to Freemasonic initiation, hidden in plain sight.
My anxiety disappeared once I understood that anxiety is a result of uncontrolled thinking. The nervous system is not anxious for no reason, it's simply just reacting to the commands that you give it. Every time we think, we command 50 trillion cells into an order, and these cells religiously obey every thought command that you give them. Therefore, if you're anxious, it's a result of your thoughts. Thoughts produce feelings, and feelings produce actions in the body, such as nervousness, shifting your leg all the time, moving your body because your anxiety. This is the power of the mind. Mind holds power over the body. Mind becomes before matter. Mind shapes matter. So I started to do meditations and gain actual control over my thoughts and learn to become the observer of them and select certain thoughts. And if I ever get a negative thought, I instantly banish it, because I'm the observer and I select the thoughts. I choose which thoughts I give power to. And this really did help me with my anxiety and just everything in life and pretty much in general. Try it out for yourself, your life will change.
The Jeffrey Epstein files are a form of black magic. No one's talking about what this is doing to people's minds. Here's the twist. Reading about pedophilia, sex trafficking, abuse over and over again is not normal. It's repetition. Your mind is not a trash can, it's a divine temple. Every word you read enters your subconscious, not consciously, subconsciously. And when you repeatedly consume dark material, your nervous system doesn't register it as exposure. It registers it as normal. The subconscious doesn't ask, is this true? It asks, is this familiar? The more familiar something becomes, the less shocking it feels, the less resistance you have, the more desensitized you become to it. You think you're staying informed, but what you're really doing is rehearsing darkness inside your own consciousness.
and that doesn't heal the world. It programs you. Protect your mind like you protect your body. Not everything deserves access to your inner world. These documents are probably darkening people. I've noticed this myself. If I see something in the morning, like, I don't know, a billboard with fruit on it, later that evening, I start thinking, oh, I'd love some fruit. Why is that? It's because what you see enters your subconscious mind and it influences your thoughts. So if you're reading about sex, trafficking, pedophilia, no wonder people can't quit porn, because the word sex is lingering in their consciousness over and over again. So, protect yourselves, people. Your mind is not something to play with. It holds the power of creation. Knowledge of yourself is the only thing worth knowing. Love and peace to you all. And that's why intelligent people choose to stay silent. Intelligence is not loud. It does not announce itself. The mind that sees deeply learns restraint, not performance. The more patterns you recognize, the less you rush to speak. Because truth is heavy, and only fools swing weight carelessly. Wisdom moves inward. It studies symbols, cycles, calls, and sequences. It listens longer than it talks. Silent is not emptiness or weakness. It is containment. The initiated do not chase attention. They observe, they refine, they wait. Intelligent is not noise, it is gravity. God did not place his brand, his name, his signature on any of his creations. He created complexity and beauty without seeking recognition. Statue of Liberty is Lucifer, and it was created by Frederick August Barthold, a French Freemason. This symbol, or this hand gesture, is called Master of the Second Veil, which you see all these people do here. So it's an occult symbol. Now, if you follow it even closer, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is a big number in Freemasonry, the G, the 7th letter of the English alphabet, symbolizing the 7 cognitions of the mind, which is understanding, intuition, perception, memory, reason, willpower, and imagination, the 7 powers of the mind, illuminating. Then if you follow even deeper, the spiral staircase looks identical to the spinal cord, which is the Kundalini awakening. When you have a Kundalini awakening, it activates dormant brain cells in your brain that weren't active before, and it leads to illumination and enlightenment. So all of this is symbolic of enlightenment, light, knowledge, information. Aliens are a complete psyop. The word alien has the word lie in it. If you read it backwards, it says Neil Armstrong, the first man supposedly on the moon, the person that tricked humanity into believing there's lands beyond the Earth. The reason they want you to believe in space is because they don't want you focused here on Earth, placing your attention on other worlds, when in fact we need to fix this world, because this world is a mess. Why are we trying to build civilization on Mars when we need to rebuild our civilization ourselves? It's a complete distraction. You can't go to space on a rocket ship. The way you access space is through astral projection. Your astral body is your rocket ship. That's what projects consciousness outside the limitations of the physical world. They just want you to believe you're in a physical universe and you're only a physical being, and you're actually far more than that. So here's Madonna's tattoo, and it's the Kabbalah tree. And here's David Bowie drawing the Kabbalah tree. This tree is on your hands, and it's basically a blueprint that represents how consciousness comes down and solidifies itself into a physical reality. Malkuth represents earth, physical reality, and Keter represents pure light consciousness. There are 2 ways you can use this tree. You can use it as an ascension tool to go from Malkuth, the physical world, and ascend your consciousness up the tree to divine source, or you can use it in magic to bring down the higher forces of consciousness to create a physical reality in magic. Now, we all know why these people probably use it. You can use the tree for bad reasons and for good reasons. This Christian painting called the Holy Trinity even has the Kabbalah tree inside of it, and it's from 1625, and you can find this in Rome in this church. Tree can be divided in these 4 sections, representing the 4 dimensions of consciousness: the spiritual, the mental, the emotional, and the physical. And that's how consciousness solidifies into a physical reality. We have willpower. Willpower turns into thought and thinking. Thinking turns into emotion and desire. And that turns into a physical action to create the physical world. So we all remember when the king had this painting done, and it looked like the Baphomet when you placed them together and inverted it.
But the same artist did one of David Attenborough. David Attenborough had this painting done, and take a look at the hand gesture he's doing here. Take a closer look. This hand gesture he's doing is clearly the Kabbalah. And I've just made a previous video about Kabbalah and Madonna's tattoo, if you want to check that out. This is all Kabbalah. It's all Kabbalah magic. Now, I'm not saying Kabbalah is evil, because Kabbalah is simply just the tool. However, you can use it for good or bad. So, you just know that these are all occultists. Here's the Google Chrome logo, and it looks identical to 666. And here's the Google Play logo, which looks identical to the sigil of Lucifer. And the sigil of Lucifer looks identical to the brain's visual field. And Lucifer means the light bearer or the light bringer. Lucy means light, and fer means bring. The eyes are the light bringer to the brain to produce a visual reality. We don't see reality outside of us. Light enters our eyes, and the image is produced in the visual cortex at the back of the brain. In esoteric terms, Lucifer is not a real person. In esoteric terms, Lucifer is correlated to our perception, how we perceive things. For example, most people think the physical reality exists when it's actually a hologram produced by their brain. Luciferianism is about presenting something very good, luring you in, but it's actually pulling you into darkness. Kind of like how the brain chip will work. They will present it that you can learn everything, download information into your brain with a brain chip, but it's actually tracking your thoughts. And that's what Luciferianism truly is, presenting something to be very good, luring you in when it's actually got a hidden agenda behind it. Satanism is a little bit different. Satanism is about pure evil in plain sight without any cover-up or any beauty covering it up. You were created to be a slave by the Anunnaki gods, but it goes much deeper than its surface level story. Anunnaki can be broken down into Anu, Na, and Ki. Anu was the supreme god of the sky, which represents spirit. Ki was the goddess of the earth. Anu and Ki came together, got married, and they gave birth to the Anunnaki, which is symbolic of the story of your soul descending into matter. You have a spiritual nature and a physical animal nature. The invisible voice inside your mind is the spirit, the eternal creative power, and your physical body is the material animal. The inner soul in your mind manifested itself into a physical body. Anu and Ki never existed. This is the story of how your soul manifested into a physical reality. How Anu, your spirit, came down to Ki and got married to the physical body and materialized into the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, your nervous system, that allows you to experience duality. All of these ancient stories are talking about you, because you are the divine manifested in a physical form. That's why I know depression doesn't exist, because I learned that if I turned off my mind, I would become the observer of the thought. And depression, anxiety, and fear goes out the window. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky, forever in motion and changing. But then your witness is like the blue sky beyond the clouds, which simply just observes them. And by meditating every day, I learned that I can select the thoughts that I want to give attention and power to. Because meditation has taught me that, I only select thoughts that are going to give me extreme power. And if a negative thought comes into my mind, I redirect my awareness and my observer to a more powerful one. And the longer I did this, it programmed myself to no longer give attention to any negative thoughts. And that change in selecting my thoughts reflected in my reality, because it sounds cringe, but reality is simply just an externalization of my thoughts.
The elite say you spend time.
On the North Pole of Saturn, you have the hexagon, which is basically a cube. This is where you get the black cube of Saturn from. The color black is associated with Saturn because Saturn rules the winter time. That's why we have the black cube of Saturn, which can be found on the Jew's head or in Mecca. And when you graduate from university, you wear a black square on your head. Saturn is known as the god of time. Your body has a limited amount of time in this physical dimension. However, your soul lives forever. In the ancient myths, Saturn was the god of the physical world because time rules the physical world. A hexagram of Saturn can turn into a 6-pointed star. 6 points, 6 mini triangles, and 6 sides. 666. There are 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, and 24 hours in a day. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666. If you add up the opposite number on the clock, it always adds up to 6. 12 take away 6 is 6. 1 take away 7 is 6. Internet is www. World Wide Web, which means vav 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 666. Physical reality, or the physical body, is the cube. You can either move left, right, forwards, backwards, upwards and down. You are the cube. You are not your physical body. You have many other higher dimensions of consciousness, such as the mind, the astral plane and the etheric plane. That's why we say think outside the box, because the box is the physical world and your mind can operate in these higher dimensions. Most of these religions have Saturn symbolism to make you worship time and the physical body and the physical world. This video came out in 1980.
Watch out for 666. In a vision of the future, I saw in a vivid dream that the hour is soon coming when men will become machines. A new one world order will rise and then demand that all the world's people receive their scientific brand. I saw a tiny free program, computer chips so thin, implanted in men's foreheads underneath their skin, linking all its bearers to the system's central brain. The master computer that over them will reign. Watch out for 666.
If that video isn't predictive programming, then I don't know what is. The reason they do this is so that your subconscious mind is aware of these things. If they never showed you these things in the movies and through videos like that, your subconscious mind would reject it when it came up in reality. So they get you used to it, they drop gems, little bits of information about it before it happens, so that your subconscious mind is some formal way aware of it.
If you want to know God, you have to transcend religion. If you stay within religion, you will never know God.
That's
you will
right.
believe in God,
That's right.
but you will never know Him.
I agree with you, brother.
And if you don't know God, you will never be free. If you see people who believe in God, they're looking for Him in the far off while they have Him right in front of their nose. That's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Religion, you know what I ask my brothers when they get angry with me? I say, between man and religion, who came first? You see, if man came first, now you tell me. The men who came and left before religion arrived, where would they go? To hell or where would they go? Answer my question now. The people who came before the arrival of religion,
Right.
they came and left. Where would they go?
They go right back to the cosmos.
They can't answer it.
Right.
Religious people can't answer this. It's too deep.
That's
They
right.
can't answer that.
That's
because
beautiful.
they are limited in the spectrum of religion. You have to get out of that to know God.
There you go.
If you're caught up in religion, you will never know God. You would believe in God.
That's right.
That is an amazing video, and it puts it into perspective that people are living in a lie. Believing in something does not mean it's truth. If I was a Christian and I was in a car crash and I survived, I would say Jesus saved my life. If I was a Muslim, I would say Allah saved my life. The same event happened, but two different beliefs. Therefore, we should not be researching and believing in the beliefs of the mind. We should be researching the very substance of mind itself, because that is the truth, not the belief the mind believes in. And when you realize and get to know the substance of mind, you start to realize, wow, everything is made of this one substance. Everything is God. Everything is consciousness. Therefore, God is you, God is the dog, the squirrel, and the plant. And that's when you get to know something. When you know yourself, you start to understand consciousness and God.
Food that is red, that's for your vitality and your energy. The orange food, whether it's oranges, squash, this is for the boosting of your immunity. Green is for your digestive system and detoxing you. The purple, the blue, this is relaxation. This is what antioxidant, it kills the free radicals. The yellow is good for your brain.
Yeah.
So whatever feeling you have,
Right.
they are your internal guidance system to let you know something is off balance in you. So if you know the color coding of food, you don't have to know how to read all through the paragraphs of stuff that's on the back. Matter of fact, if it got a paragraph, it's not food. Matter of fact, if it got a barcode, it's not food.
Wow.
It's really an industrialized commodity posing as food. It's good tasting plastic.
What a great video. What he said is actually true. And this is the reason why corporations like McDonald's, KFC, all utilize the colors of red, orange, and yellow. It's because humans possess trichromatic vision, which means our eyes are programmed to seek color. Therefore, in nature, when we are in the woods or in the wild, our eyes can easily pick up fruits and vegetables growing from the earth so that we can identify food and eat them. So the reason why these corporations utilize them colors is to make you more attracted to their food, which is not even food. It is industrial created food, which creates all sorts of problems in your body.
This image of the Queen reveals a pentagram next to the Masonic compass. The pentagram is used in magic. It reveals how consciousness creates physical reality, because each element is symbolic for a different body of consciousness. When you draw the pentagram, it's symbolic of how spirit turns into matter, how the forces go through each body of consciousness. Pentagram starts at spirit, which represents divine inspiration, which then goes down to fire, which is willpower. Fire goes up to air, which is the mind, thought. The thought turns into water, which is emotion, and emotion turns into desire, which goes into the physical body, and the body takes action on physical reality. The symbol of the pentagram is not evil, it's just been heavily demonized over the past few hundred years. Inverted pentagram is the evil one. This represents how your physical needs are more important than your spiritual, which is basically the mind of a satanic person.
This cartoon talks about how they use fluoride to block your pineal gland, and that how you can astral project. Take a look at this.
A career? A job? That's all there is?
You might think that's all there is. Live, work, die, but that's not true. I'm Palmer Elemis, and this is the Wonder Cabinet, an exploration of the hidden mysteries of the universe. On tonight's show, the pineal gland, a small sac of fluid located in the center of the human brain, the third eye. The ancient Egyptians believed you could vibrate the pineal gland, allowing the consciousness to move any direction in space and time. Astral projection. And every vertebrate in the world has a pineal gland, except one, the hagfish. You are not a hagfish.
I'm not a hagfish.
You're not. The powers that be have just gunked up our pineal glands with fluoride.
And this is why we need to study the occult. People are scared of this word occult, but it simply just means hidden. It's about studying the hidden forces and bodies of consciousness that you possess. And people are so scared of this, but you are far more than your physical body. And you can only figure this stuff out once you understand the occult side of your life and consciousness.
I've been doing imagination techniques pretty much every day for the past 3 years. Not every single day, because sometimes I fall asleep, but most nights I've been doing them. And I wanted to share what I've benefited from this, so it hopefully can help yourself. Your subconscious mind is always trying to build an identity or a model of who you are. Then it filters thoughts and decisions through that model. So if I rehearse confidence, discipline, focus in my imagination every single night, my brain slowly starts offering thoughts that align with that version of you. So last night I did a meditation or a technique of imagining a reality of me finishing this new project. Today I woke up receiving thoughts all day long of how to actually materialize this. Inspirations, ideas, things that I need to implement. It's life-changing because imagination doesn't create reality, but what it does do is plant the seed in your subconscious of that reality. Then it suggests thoughts to your conscious mind of how to implement it to create that reality. It's like your spirit guide. It's like your little guidance angel. It's really is beneficial to people who are trying to create anything in their life, or even trying to be happier. If you want to feel more love, simply just imagine and feel it when you go to sleep, and the next day you'll wake up with 1% better every day, you know. But yeah,
And that's why Nikola Tesla would walk around a building 3 times before entering. What did he understand about repetition that most people ignore? Tesla recognized the power of cycles. The mind responds to rhythms and repetition. When an action is repeated with intention, it becomes a ritual. What is a ritual? A ritual is a repeated behavior charged with focus. Repetition installs patterns into the subconscious mind. What you do consistently becomes who you are. So why 3 times? 3 represents completion of a cycle. By walking around buildings 3 times, Tesla was not being irrational. He was reinforcing a mental state. He was conditioning focus, control, and precision. What does this mean for you? Every repeated action programs the mind. If done unconsciously, it installs limitation. If done intentionally, it installs discipline and clarity. Tesla understood that the mind runs on cycles, just like day and night, winter and summer. Master the ritual, and you become the master of your mind. And that's why Leonardo da Vinci placed the Vitruvian Man inside of a square and circle. The circle represents spirit, because circle surface areas cannot be calculated to the exact number. It represents something immeasurable, immaterial, something spiritual. And the square, on the other hand, represents something that you can measure. The surface area is easily calculated. So it represents man is both a spiritual and a material creature. His mind exists in higher dimensions, while his body exists in the three-dimensional reality. You can ascend your consciousness and access higher dimensional realities. That's why the circle is placed just above the square, because it symbolizes spirit ruling over matter. It is the mind that rules over the physical reality. And that's why Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden represents your consciousness, because the garden represents a whole state you once lived in as a child. As a baby, you were unified. You did not suppress parts of yourself to fit in. You did not perform. You were authentic, connected to your higher awareness, and psychologically whole. So what does eating the apple mean? The apple symbolizes transformation through destruction. Destruction of unity, the birth of duality, a split in your consciousness, a movement into a new state of awareness. Why did they suddenly realize they were naked? Because self-awareness emerged. Just as a child grows, you become conscious of yourself. You see yourself as separate. You begin to observe yourself through the eyes of others. What happens next? Conditioning begins. You suppress aspects of yourself to fit in with society. You create a mask. The psyche divides between who you are and who you think you must be. Leaving the Garden of Eden is not a physical exile. It is a psychological shift from unity consciousness to fragmentation. The real return to Eden is restoring the wholeness and the reunion with your authentic higher mind.